Tier 11 to the top with Mansfield Hosiery Mills here on Anderzbaz FM. And today we have a very special end of season special at the culmination of the 1920 season. So as you can see here, this is the team of the season, the best 11, and it's not really a surprise. So in goal we've got Tim Trebez, who spent most of the season as our number one goalkeeper. He was an early season replacement for Tech, and at the end of the season he was replaced by Maris, so he probably won't be our goalkeeper for next season, but he spent a good chunk of this season in between the posts and performed really well. Then we've got the usual back four of Pickrell, Bergin, Lynch and Bullock. Obviously Bullock is no longer with us, and Lynch is making noises about wanting to leave as well, after having a couple of promises not fulfilled in his eyes. So we put the squad improving, but clearly the improvements to the squad weren't up to his standards, but he features in the best 11 here. And then in midfield we've got Gardner and Lowther, Jarvis, Sesse and Lynn, and no real surprises there. They were the 5 best players and featured in most games. And up top we've got Simon, who netted 27 across the season in all competitions, even if he has been slightly ousted due to his attitude problems towards the end of the season. Fans player of the season vote was pretty tight. Cameron Lynn got it with 36% over Salmon and Sesse. Sesse did get the consolation of the young player of the season, and Lynn also got the signing of the season, and he also scored the goal of the season as well in an October fixture against Rousley 86. You can see it comes from a throw-in on the right. Lynn brings it down, takes a few steps inside, beats one man. A lovely shot with his left foot into the top corner to put us 1-0 up inside 4 minutes. A fantastic goal and worthy of a goal of the season in a game that we ended up 5-1. If we have a quick look at the stats for the season, there we go. Salmon with a top goal scorer of 27. Lynn got the highest average rating and most assists. Sesse was best passer. Salmon got most man of the match awards. Bergen racked up the yellow cards, but it was Lynn who got the one red card, the straight red. A few people did get a few double yellow cards, but Lynn's red card in the cup semi-final is what earns him worst discipline, but otherwise a fantastic season for him there. If we go on to look at the rest of the review, it was indeed a memorable season. We did the League and Cup double, winning the Premier Division South of the Central Midlands League and also the Abacus Lighting Floodlit Cup. It was a little bit disappointing to lose in that semi-final of the Buckingham Insurance League Challenge Cup, but the aforementioned early red card from Lynn really put us on the back foot and we ended up losing 4-1. The match of the season there, a 4-0 victory over Hilton Harriers. I'm surprised that wasn't the 8-1 drubbing of Pinkston, but this game was expected to be tighter than that one. And moment to forget, well, there was 2 of them and they both came against Claycross. A 2-1 home defeat, a 1-0 away defeat really were moments to forget. And you can see there the average attendance of 27 really puts into perspective that 111 who made it to the cup final on a Tuesday night. If we do have a quick look at the league, you can see that it was pure domination, 24 points clear in the end. We won 10 more games than Claycross, and really we were better than everyone else in the division. You can see that Pinkston got a relegation reprieve as the Sherwood A team were relegated down to Tier 11, so the reserves automatically go down to Tier 12. So that saved Pinkston's skin. They were very, very lucky on the last day, as they lost and were in relegation places, but as we say, Sherwood had their first team relegated. You can see really filling up the top 5 on the player stats and the average rating. Salmon missed out on the top goal scorer. His form tailed off towards the end of the season as his attitude problems got the better of him, but we did fill up most assists as well, and all the team stats we are featuring pretty highly. So yeah, all in all, a very good season. So now we are going to have a look at what the board expect us to do in the coming season. As I've already said, we've made that jump to semi-pro from amateur. A few of the players have already signed part-time contracts, but you can see here that the board are expecting us to win promotion by winning the league next season as we move up to the East Midlands Counties League Premier Division. So that's going to be a tough ask. I've got no idea what the standard is like at Tier 10, but I imagine if the board are expecting us to get automatic promotion, then we can probably do it. The board are usually not that bullish when it comes to first season in a new league, so if they're expecting us to win, that means we have got a good chance. So I'm more than happy to accept that club vision, and then you can see the working towards promotions as we go further on throughout the 5-year plan. The other competitions that we'll be in will make our first appearance in the FA Vars, so that's basically the non-league FA Cup essentially. So further down the pyramid you get into the FA Vars, and then the Jenkins and Jenkins League Cup, which is, I believe, just for East Midlands Counties League teams. So that'll be a new cup competition for us to try as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump forward through the summer and the pre-season and have a look at what we've done in terms of strengthening the squad and making it so we can earn that promotion straight away and match the board expectations. Okay then, so here we are, we've jumped forward a few months to the 1st of August and the first league game of the new campaign. But before we get into that, let's have a look over the squad, go through the 6 new players and have a look at the league preview. So first up, the squad itself. So as you can see, we've got a 23-man squad and it is looking very, very young. We've only got 5 players now who are over 23 out of this 23-man squad. There are a few additions we want to make still. We need a second choice goalkeeper, and we need some cover at centre-back and maybe even a new centre-back for the first choice 11. But we'll go through what players we have brought in first. So as we work down the list, we'll start off with Cavan Cotter. As you notice, we have players now with faces. We've moved up the pyramid a little bit, so we're getting actual real players with faces now. But Cotter here comes in as a centre mid with a bit of right back cover. Obviously he's young, which is a theme you'll see with a lot of these new players. He's got decent pace and fitness, some good vision and first touch. Maybe his end product isn't quite there yet, but he's still young, got plenty of room for improvement, but he will be making his way into our starting 11 straight away. Another man probably coming, maybe as a bit of cover, maybe making it into the starting 11, not quite sure yet, is Bailey Fuller. He's another one with some excellent vision and passing. Look at that vision at 17 there, it's top draw. And then we've got some good technique and solid free kick taker as well. His physicals are a little bit weaker than expected. He's not got much pace, or sort of run-of-the-mill average everything in his physicals. But that flair and vision and the passing is really what's going to set him apart. Up front, we've now got a new striker in Kieran Feeney. He has, again, some really good pace and off-the-ball movement. He's really going to be looking to get in behind that defence. He's got some decent finishing and heading. Maybe not as strong in the air and maybe not quite as good at finishing as Salmon, but we've got Salmon now coming off the bench as an impact sub. We sorted out his morale as well, so that's good. We've clearly strengthened the squad in the areas he wanted, but I think Feeney is going to take the nod and to get that starting striker position to begin the season at least, but we'll see how we get on. Further back, we've got Alex Render, who is a centre-back and right-back, so he can probably play in both roles, depending on where we've got elsewhere in the team. He's got solid marking and decision making. There's probably his 2 strengths. Decent speed, quite strong. Yeah, he's going to have that versatility across the back line. He can even possibly play left back at a push. But yeah, I think that decision making and marking, his tackling's not quite as strong as we want it to be, but he's got lots of time to improve again. Another 19-year-old joining the squad. And then we'll go to midfielder Cole Gibbon. So Gibbon, obviously centre mid. We've got plenty of options in the middle of midfield now, especially after Gardner retired at the end of the last season. The 35-year-old, we attempted to talk him out of it, but he's retired, so we brought in plenty of cover and young cover at that in the middle of midfield. So Gibbon has good vision and decision making again, which is a theme coming through with these new players, and some solid physicals. He's agile, got good fitness, decent jumping. So yeah, we're going to hopefully have a good playmaking midfield here. And see, we've got one more signing we want to talk about today, and that's Daniel Pike, who is left back and provides a bit of centre back cover as well. Some good physicals, again, pace and work rate. He's Only downside is he's not really an attacking wing-back or a defensive left-back. He's sort of a bit of neither, really. His technicals are neither here nor there, very average across the board, which is fine at this level. His mentals are all pretty average as well. It's like those physicals that really set him apart. Only one physical attribute that's lower than 10, but he's got good teamwork, good work rate. We'll put in a shift down the left-hand side. And we have a couple of youth players who we've promoted as well, so from the latest youth intake. Ryan Alexander, who's got some great teamwork, and that bravery at 19 is what's really going to set him apart. He's not got much on the physical side of things, the speed, but it's that mental, and in the air, his jumping reach, heading with his height is pretty impressive as well. Definitely one for the future. We've got him as centre back, or right back, or even centre midfield to cover there, so he's quite versatile as well, and one of the standout prospects from our latest youth intake. And also left winger Matti Lapainen, obviously Finnish, another one from our youth intake. His polygon's a little bit strange there. He's got some bit of a strange one, but he's got a lot of pace, and not much else really. Can dribble, decent first touch, but pace, acceleration, fitness. He's one for the future. He's a future prospect when we put him into the first team, just to give him those chances of coming off the bench, because we could kind of do with cover, as we say. We've only got a 23-man squad, so bringing in a couple of youth players is always useful there to provide a bit of cover. And in terms of tactics, we're going to continue with the 4-2-3-1. It's still route 1 at the moment, but we're probably going to look to change that into something else. We've got the ball playing ability in the middle of the park now that we didn't have before, so we'll probably be looking to go from route 1 to something a bit more playing of the ball really in the middle. But this is probably going to be our starting 11 for the first game. A couple of questions around that attacking mid-roll, so whether Sese and Fuller, whoever starts out of those two, we're not sure just yet. We've got Fuller in there at the moment. Give him the chance in the first game, and equally not sure on the left wing. Madhu Cham is currently penciled in as our left winger, but Captain Paul Jarvis also a solid option out there. Last year's year, Cameron Lynn is still our first right winger, and as mentioned, Feeney is now up top. The new midfielder pairing of Cotter and Gibbon, and that defensive line of Pike, Lynchenbergen, who continue their roles from last season, and Render. Speaking of centre-backs, we are probably looking to get a new centre-back, or at least some more centre-back cover, because that is our weakest area of the pitch. We seem to have got pretty much decent cover for every other position, but the cover we've got for centre-back are essentially our full-backs, so we'll have to see whether we can find a new centre-back. And you'll have noticed as well, we've only got the one goalkeeper in the 3-man squad, so we could do with a second choice goalkeeper just in case Teddy Maris comes down with any injuries or suspensions or anything like that. But before we get on to anything else, a quick look at the competitions and the board expectations. So the board are expecting us to get promoted by winning the league in this first attempt at Tier 10. So the East Midlands Counties Premier Division. We are expected by the board to win it at the first opportunity. We'll have a look at the media prediction in a second. In the FA Vars, the board want us to reach the quarterfinals, which is probably a big ask, but we've agreed to it. We enter the first qualifying round at the end of the month. And then the Jenkins and Jenkins League Cup, which is, I believe, just for the East Midlands Counties League. That doesn't start in December, but the board are expecting us to win that cup. So it will be interesting to see what sort of opposition we get in there. Whether we are the top league in that cup, I'm not sure yet, but when we figure that out, we'll have a proper look. But let's have a look at the season preview. And unsurprisingly, if the board expect us to win, we are probably odds-on favourites. And looking at that, I think we were there before we'd even made any new signings as well. We were expected to be first, so that kind of shows you the level of quality we signed last season to bring us through to promotion. And you can see from the Media 11, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The whole back 5 is ours. 2 of the central 4 of the midfield 4, and Feeney and Cham up front. Even though Cham's not our starting striker, he's starting in the Media Dream 11. So you can see there 9 out of 11 players play for Mansfield Hosiery Mills in this Media Dream 11, so the pressure is on to meet expectations and get promoted at the first chance of asking. In terms of promotion, there is only one promotion slot, so we need to win the league. There is no other choice in the matter. But for today, our first game of the season, we are facing Ashby Ivanhoe. And again, obviously, we are the favourites coming into that game. So we'll jump forward a couple of screens and get to the match in a second. So on the original recording of this match, we had some audio difficulties. So we're going to do some post-edit here and re-record the commentary of the game. Obviously, early start here is a challenge by the Ashby defender, and it's a straight red card 5 minutes into the game, really putting them on the back foot and putting us on the front foot. Quickly demand more to try and get the lads a bit more into the game. Lynn with a free kick knocks it up, Bergin heads it on, and Feeney is there. Is he offside or has he stayed on? I think there might have been a defender here, this number 8, who played him onside. See again, Lynn with a free kick. Bergin nods it over the top, and Feeney's there, gets around the goalkeeper, and that number 8 there has played him onside. And we have taken the lead early on here, 15 minutes in. Against 10 men, Mansfield Hosiery Mills are leading the game, and a pretty good way to start the season. Dominating them so far, 5 shots to their 1. They've not really had any chance of note. As we move 30 minutes into the game, we are nearing half time and playing well. Not had any other highlights as of yet, as Cham has picked up a small knock, but we go through to half time here with a highlight. Pike knocks the ball forward on the left to that aforementioned Cham with his injured knee. He knocks it in the box. It goes over Feeney, but Gibbon is there to hammer it home and double the lead just before half time. Cham was looking for Feeney in the middle, but it went over his head. As we see the replay here, Pike sends the ball over the top of the defence. Cham turns inside the defender. Lovely ball finding Feeney, but misses him, and Gibbon is there to mop up and hammer home a great volley to put us 2-0 up as we head to half time. As you can see, Cham has got that twisted knee, and we're going to bring him off here at half time. Quickly change things around a little bit. Cham will come off, and we'll probably put Jarvis on that left hand side. But otherwise, a fantastic first half of football. Confident performance from the team, 2-0 up already, and straight away into a highlight here in the second half. Bergen with a lovely ball out to the wing with Lynn, who cuts inside, can't get around the defender, is tackled, and it's just inside the box. It's a penalty. I thought that was just outside the box, but it's in, and Bergen will step up here to take the spot kick. He's going to use his left foot, and he has found the corner. That's 3-0 for Mansfield Hosiery Mills. Bergen is comfortable from the penalty spot. I showed why we have chosen him as our penalty taker this season. Lovely finish, bottom corner, keeper gone the wrong way. And there we go, 3-0 just after half time. A nice, easy start to the second half. Confident performance still by the team. And we really are on top in this game. A fantastic way to start the season. And even though we're against 10 men, we are looking like we probably would have been just as assured and confident against a full strength Ashby side. See, there's 85 in attendance, which is a lot more than we were used to down in Tier 11, but only 2 away fans, so hopefully they're both getting their money's worth making this trip down to Leicestershire. And here we're going to make some substitutions as we near the 70-minute mark. Lynch will come off for Kerrigan, who will swap onto the right side of defence for Render, and one more change we're going to make here, I believe, as we probably look to either bring on Salmon or Sese to give some freshness to our attack. We're going to bring Sese on for Fuller, who has struggled to make an impact in this first appearance for the club. But Sese comes on, he's one of our stars from last season, so hopefully he can make an impact immediately here. Working from the back, Render sends a lovely ball forward to Jarvis, who beats his man, but no, he sends it back to Pike. Lovely ball over the top. Feeney is there and should have done better. That will be a corner. He should have maybe waited a little bit and brought that down slightly earlier. And it's gone out to Lynn, who puts the ball back into the box, but it's headed away. Another corner here, 2 quick corners in quick succession. As Hosiery Mills ply on the pressure. Jarvis, another ball into the box. It's cleared away, only as far as Cotter. He finds Sese, back to Pike. And Jarvis is free on the wing, but he can't get his ball into the box. And he's offside anyway. As we cross the 70-minute mark, Ashby with their own free kick from the offside, but it only gets as far as Render, who sends a lovely ball up, but it's dealt with by the defence. It's very back and forth, long ball at the moment. We look to settle things down. Carter heads it down to Jarvis. Jarvis goes around his man, sends the ball into the box. It's brought down by Gibbon, who sends it to Sese. The keeper is nowhere. The keeper is in no man's land. He's left it to his defender, who stood no chance as Sese peels through and finishes with a nice little shot there. And Gibbon with a through ball. The goalkeeper doesn't really come to it, doesn't know what to do. And Sese just says, "Thank you very much, I'll take this goal." And within a few minutes, he has come on and put the 4th for Hosiery Mills. And as we look to finish the half there, the match here, we're not going to make any changes to the team instructions. We're not going to waste any time or go any less attacking or anything. There's no need. The Ashby side are looking uninterested. Jarvis with a free kick, sends it in, but it's dealt with. But he's got it again on that left flank. Can he find any man in the middle? Does so, and Sese, and it's just wide. He should have finished there. He should have got 2. He's only been on the pitch 15 minutes at this point and should already have 2 goals. But here we go. The game is winding down, and 3 minutes of injured time is nothing. 4-0 victory on the opening day of the season. And that will be it for today. If you enjoyed this game and the content on this video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back every Monday and Thursday with more content. I'm going to quickly flash up the league table here to show top of the league after 1 game. But yep, that will do it for today. If you've enjoyed, please give us a like, drop some comments, and otherwise I will see you next time. I've been Anderzbaz, and thank you very much.